I met a gypsy.
You've watched the race 3 times. Actually, we'll backtrack a little bit. You were going to be our man on the ground at Anaheim. We were gonna get Big Hill to be walking around getting the dirt for us, sending it back to the studio while we were soupy companioning. But then you get called up to race, which I'm more pumped that you're racing than doing our correspondence, to be honest. So we didn't get that to happen. But I personally think that you're one of the better contributors to moto media in terms of like the opinion that like your take that you bring. You just don't really get the chance to do it that much. So after watching the race now 3 times on television, what's your thoughts on A1 in terms of the big boy class and the little boy class?
Well, I think that Roczen looked good. Roczen looked good the whole time. He's solid, and it was kind of, I don't know. There's so many fast guys. Like Anderson,
it's crazy.
Mookie looked really good. Muskin in press day, I was like, Muskin's gonna smoke. I thought Muskin looked the best out of everybody in press day, but then I had to remind myself that we weren't running the whoops then. So like the whoops were big. So then I think that kind of messed him up a little bit. I don't know. Sexton looks super good. I mean, I think everybody thought Sexton was going to win that moto for a minute. Like, he just kind of maybe got a little impatient or probably maybe got a little frustrated, not knowing what to do. Like, do I stuff this dude? Do I do I try to be the flex up on him, be the top Honda guy? Or like, where am I at right now? I'm sure that was running through his head. I mean, I had a race at Anaheim where I was behind James and James is a little bit banged up and I was going faster, and then we had guys coming up behind me, and I was like, what do I do? I'm not supposed to pass this guy, but I can, It's probably he probably had a lot going through his mind there for a minute. So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. I think Webb didn't look flashy at all day. He looked good, not like he looked bad or nothing, but he didn't look like top of the world. And then what does he do? He just motors through and comes through the pack, gets up to second. And I mean, on the track with some of the gnarliest whoops that I've seen in a long time. So
yeah, I think we'll break that down into sections because there's a lot there. So with Kenny, it's like that's just his deal, right? At any weekend, any given time, he can come up and just literally smoke everybody. I reckon I sort of said it in the Soupy Companion at the end of it, which I probably was like actually a little bit too critical, but it's just like a dude that like we used to be pretty tight, so it's like I see it and I'm just when you can like talk shit on someone as like you talk shit on your friend in a way, I guess, but I don't know if it comes across like that when I'm actually saying some shit. But I was pretty like both times, like after the heat race, he gets on the podium and it was just so like flat. And it's like, all right, I get it that you're probably like he was sick in December, not feeling the best, and he's probably doesn't have that much energy on the podium. But I'm like, dude, you get 30 seconds. Like all of these guys are going to watch the race back on TV. You get 30 seconds to just like say some shit that is going to like move you forward a little bit in the whole, like in the big picture, you know what I mean? Like, and Webb's the man at that. Like Webb can make like one sentence on the podium really, really matter. And then Kenny gets on there and it just made it feel like he thought it was a fluke that he won the heat race. And then he wins the main and it was the same thing. And I'm just like, as a fan of him, I'm like, dude, take this moment that you've got, like you just smoked everybody. And yes, you feel like shit, but like you could really turn that into something, instead of making it sound like you actually can't believe you even did good. It's like, wouldn't you get on there and flex up a little bit and be like, damn, I just smoked everybody and I feel like shit. I can't wait to post the Instagram video of like me barely being able to breathe 3 weeks ago, So I don't know, that for me with Kenny, I was just like, I was so impressed with the ride and then so unimpressed with like the way that he leveraged that on the podium, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, everybody takes it a little bit differently. Maybe he just doesn't want the target on his back, even though it's going to, come there no matter what. I mean, when you look that good and you win by double digits at A1 and make it look, I mean, I guess he didn't really make it look easy because Sexton made it, I guess, 8 laps in, it looked like Sexton might be the guy. But then Sexton made some mistakes and Roczen was gone. And maybe just that meek, humble approach is what he thinks is going to work best for him. He doesn't want to, maybe he wants to even fool himself into thinking that it's a fluke. We should just keep doing this. Let's make this fun. I don't know. And then on the other end, you got Cooper Webb's probably going up to the line with Rick Ross blaring in his headphones. I think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover. He's probably up there just going you know what I mean? They're just wired different. And I think it maybe just tends to their riding styles. I feel like Ken's probably one of those guys that he's so fluid and so good that he probably just really comes into his own when he's relaxed and having fun and no pressure, and then Webb's just that guy I feel like that just thrives on the tears of others. He's just got that beast mentality. And like I said, he never, not discounting the guy at all, but he never looks like that guy that's super flashy in practice, even in the heat race. Occasionally you'll see him do something whoa, that was really good. But he just seems to come along for the main event, come along for when it counts. Even I think, what was he, 12th or 13th fastest in practice? And that happens a lot with him until the series. I think, almost every opener, he's kind of, jumbled in the back. And then what does he do? He shows up when it counts. So
I think
it's going to be interesting. I mean, and there's so many guys we didn't even mention that are going so fast, and they all think they can win.
Well, I think there's legitimately, I'd say 10 to 12 dudes that I can see winning a race this year, and it's that's pretty
10 to 12. You think 10 to 12 are going to win?
Can win.
You think 10 to 12 guys?
Can.
How many do you think will win?
What's that? I think
How
probably
many will win?
5 or 6.
That's okay. So you read up on the statistics, because that's I think 6 is the most it's ever won in a series.
Really?
I read that statistic and I was like, really? But yeah, I guess 6 is the most. I forget what year it was. Maybe 99 or something.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would say, all right. So who do you think? Well, this is mine. I think obviously Ken, Coop. I think Chase Sexton can win. Eli Tomac can win. I think Dylan Ferrandis can win. So there's a lot of guys I think can. That's 5 dudes instantly. Malcolm, can he win a main? There's all those fringe guys where it's if a few things go right, they can definitely win. I think that there's 5 or 6 guys where they don't really need things to go right. They can just outright win a race. So yeah, I think that there's probably 10 to 12 guys where that legitimately could win this year, but I think there's probably 6 or 7 of those guys where a few things have to go right for them to win. But I can see them being in the position where things could go right, if that makes sense.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I think we Ken obviously, Cooper obviously, Eli obviously. Sexton is definitely got the speed to do it. Mookie has the speed to do it, I think. Anderson, I think he's ready to go again. He looks fired up.
Barsha can win. He's won last year.
Barsha can win for sure. Then AP had a rough day. AP Aaron Plester crashed I think in the whoops.
It was first practice,
and he had a rough day. Yeah, you could tell he was just he didn't look like he was. I think he smashed his nuts pretty hard.
Yeah,
too.
That's what happened.
I think he got the wind taken out of his sail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I have a feeling him and that new bike are gonna gel pretty good. He looked pretty good on it. I mean, there's just so many guys. And I'm sure I'm making somebody mad that I'm not talking about.
I'm going to come out and say that this year then, knowing that, I didn't know that statistic, but I'm going to come out and say that this year will be the most 450 winners we've ever had in a season.
It's a possibility for sure. I definitely think it's a possibility. We'll see though. Who knows? It always seems like this, and then maybe Ken and Cooper and Eli just take off and just somehow separate themselves from everybody. It's just weird how it works.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.